Hello, good afternoon. My name is SJ, and I am with the H7 network. You can look us up online at H7, the letter H, number 7 network.com. Today, I have the pleasure, as the CCO of H7, to interview one of our longest standing members. His name is Gary, and he is the musical insurance guy. Gary, thank you for joining me on this short video today.
Thank you for having me.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it. I had a few questions for you in this little Q&A, and I look forward to hearing your feedback. We are going to start here by asking you to share about your business. Based on your logo on your shirt, you're with Farmers. So if you want to share a little bit about your business, please.
Well, I own a farmers insurance agency here in Mason, Ohio. We do insurance for your auto, your home, your life, and your business. And we specialize in helping you be right insured at the very lowest cost possible. We take the time to help you understand your options so that we can always do cheaper. Everybody wants cheap, but we want you to have good insurance at the lowest cost possible. And we help you understand those things.
Very well said, and it's important to understand that. So thank you for enlightening us, and appreciate that. So there's a small number of questions that are sort of part of this second thing that I'd like to hear from you, please, is a little bit about you personally. So how long have you been a member of the H7 community? What were you doing before you got involved with Farmers in the agency? Why are you still driven to be in insurance to this very day? And what do you like about H7?
Well, I was in the electronics industry for about almost 30 years. And about a dozen years ago, I got sick and tired of manufacturing on this side of the world no longer being a growth industry. So I searched the world for something I thought I could do. I guess maybe it was midlife crisis or whatever. So I found insurance, and I ultimately ended up with owning a farmers insurance agency. So about the time I started, which was 2008, almost 12 years ago now, Farmers is teaching you to get involved with the community, join the chamber and that sort of thing. And I was driving down Fields Erdel, very close to my home, in front of the O'Charlie's restaurant. And on the marquee, it said, networking meeting on Tuesdays at noon. Okay, what in the world is this? So I walked in, and it was Clayton Hicks at his first meeting. And we ended up getting that meeting, he did, up to 50, 60 people. And I believe it was his first successful group meeting. And then he ended up busting it apart, and then went over to Westchester, and now it's all over the country now, I guess. So I was involved early on, and at about that time, I came up with the idea of marketing myself as a marketing differentiator. I've always been involved with musical things, so we came up with the musical insurance guy. So you had asked about other people that I met. One of them was a guy named Gary Rosignol, who he was all intrigued by the musical insurance guy thing, and he is a realtor, and I ended up naming him the Rock and Roll Realtor. So to this day, he has a radio program that I sponsor. I'm on it once every few months called the Rock and Roll Realtor Hour, and he has a rock band, and anyway, that was one of the really neat connections made at that first H7 meeting over at Old Charlie's. So back about a decade or so ago now.
Wow. Well, that says a lot about the power of community, the power of building relationships, that it's lasted that long. So excellent, excellent anecdote. Thank you very much. Last question I'll ask you, and it's also got a couple parts, so feel free to address whichever you feel that you want to share with us here in the community, is why have you been a member for 10+ years? Any highlights, favorite meetings you've attended, any other members you'd like to give a quick shout out to?
Oh, well, I guess I already mentioned Gary Rosignol. Sean Dennedy, actually I was in the H7 meeting with him just yesterday again. He was in that same meeting. Now, I've watched him go through several employments over time, and it's been interesting, and it's been a good connection. He's been my customer. He refers, he's a realtor now, referred something to me just recently. So, and again, that's one of those connections made way back when. So some people ask me, well, what's this musical insurance guy thing? So there's lots of different levels. I've always been involved with musical things. I tuned my first piano when I was 12 years old. I like to think the real musician of my family is my wife. She's a violinist and teaches orchestra and that sort of thing. But I've also been into the restoration of antique musical instruments. I put myself through college way back when, buying and selling and rebuilding old player pianos, the big upright pianos where you pump the pedals and the paper roll goes through it.
Mhm.
So in my office are all sorts of weird musical things. So behind me is just some of the things. We have the, it's an antique radio back there, some player harmonicas, the music box, and the thing is called a cob organ over my shoulder. In the other room is a 1917 crank-up record player with a big thick, about quarter-inch thick 78s, and an 1895 player reed organ. And the desk that I'm sitting on right now actually was a piano, the one I'm looking at, but the camera's looking the other way. So if you're interested in weird old antique musical things, come by my office and we'll be glad to give you a tour.
Wonderful. It goes to show that every member of this community, folks that are watching, has his or her their own story, and they also have been able to brand themselves a certain way. So Gary, you did great in sharing your background. I wanted to thank you so much for your time today and for sharing some of your story in this interview.
You can find me at musicalinsuranceguy.com.
Nice. Thank you so much. And again, my name is SJ. Please find us online at h7network.com. And we will look forward to seeing you at one of our Zooms or in-person meetings very soon.